Hey guys, it's Salvador with Detailers Growth, and today I am sitting down with Justin of the Diamond Detailing in San Antonio, Texas. How's it going, man?
Yes, nice. Doing well, doing well. Very
Awesome,
excited.
man. I'm glad we were both able to make the time today. I know we've been trying to schedule this for a minute.
Correct. Yes.
All good, man.
Yes.
All right, man. So you came on board October 10th, and when you came on board, I know that like we had some like the first campaign that we launched, we had to make some changes. We made some
Correct.
changes to the audience. And then after we made that change to that campaign, things just kind of took off from there, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. So the ads have been live for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And do you want to tell people how they've been doing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's been a huge, I would say the word huge success, right? Not to limit to ourselves of what still can happen, right? But for the first, we're going on 30 days. Today's the 8th of November. So we're about to hit almost, 30 days, right? So I'm excited about it strictly because, I think I was very hesitant when we first spoke, and I was letting you know kind of my background, but more importantly is that I used to run ads, right, for myself as a business, and very basic about it, So when I tried handing the baton to somebody else to do it for us, either they didn't quite understand, or they can say we can do this for you, and I felt like I knew more than them, right? So when we finally sat down and talked, you and I, you kind of told me your game plan, kind of what to expect, you kind of had everything ready to go, I guess, right? All you needed for me was, hey, Justin, add me as an admin, and I'll take care of the rest, right? And that's the exciting part about this is that, us partnering up is you have a lot of this stuff is automated. And the automation part, I think now, is I'm a big fan of that, right? Because it allows us to, uh, to cater to plenty of other individuals, So your system is very automated. It's very to the T. Like I said, we've been running these ads. We've had a huge success. We've had a lot of leads come in, right? Now, it's a good thing. And it's also a bad thing sometimes, strictly because we got to handle these leads, right? Um, but for the first 30 days, there's really nothing to complain about other than the fact is, how do we make more money, right? How do we continue to grow? I think we're a little over $10,000 for the first 3 weeks. And honestly, that was probably pushing the needle maybe 5 or 10%, right? There wasn't really
Yeah.
even saying like, man, like uh the cap, the cap on this is enormous, right? We can keep going here,
Yeah.
So it's an exciting thing. We've implemented a lot.
And I do want to mention that that is just from one campaign, just ceramic coating campaigns, 10
Correct, correct.
grand in 3 weeks, which is
Yeah.
insane. We're
Hmm.
also going to be launching, wash and wax campaigns, wrap
Correct.
campaigns. Yeah, there's a lot more to come.
Exactly, and this is, like I said, for the first 30 days, the first 3 weeks, I think it's that's the exciting part, is the fact that I was hoping for my return only, right? Like I was just hoping for that strictly because, yes, it is nice to be like, I want to come in here and make a certain amount of money. But my thing is that let's just get one customer, right? We got one, then we got two, then we got three. So I think we're at about I think about maybe 7 or 8 customers, I think is what we've closed, which is still good. There's a lot of follow-up still to do. So there's still opportunity there, right? So the beautiful thing about that is that even if we're not getting leads, the leads we have in the pipeline already is enough work to go until tomorrow morning and play follow up with whoever we still need to play follow up with, right? So
Yeah,
we still have ads running, and at the same time too, you have follow up to play with the other leads you have. So
yeah.
it's a win win, right? So that's the exciting part.
That's awesome, man. So let's get a little bit so we know what kind of results you've gone with us so far. I want to talk a little bit about your business specifically and like
Mhm.
what it was like before you came on board.
I think I mean, the business overall, I think we've had a huge success, right? We stopped running ads as a whole business for about 2 or 3 years. We hadn't really turned much on or anything like that. However, going into choosing your company to handle our leads and stuff, I knew that was going to be a big spurt in business, right? I just knew it right off the bat. It was just who's going to do it for us, who's going to help us get there, since so before, running these ads, we probably do about an average of about 35 to about $40,000 a month. Um,
Okay.
Now, if we just throw in your ad and the cost of it, the ROI is huge still, right? From what we've made and what your cost is and what the cost of the ads, I think our ROI is still right off the top of my head, probably about 800%, right? So it's
Yes,
huge, and anything 100%, 200% is huge, right? So to make 800% return, a little bit of work involved, right? Not a lot of work, but just a little bit of work, and may have an 800% return, I think is a good number, right?
yes.
You pitch that number to investors and people interested in making money with businesses. That's a good number to have. So to have an 800% return, uh, now joining forces with you, I think it's a blessing. I think it's great. It's perfect.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I know that you and I have been going back and forth before you came on board. We had gone back and forth.
Hmm.
You had a ton of questions. I had a lot of answers. But what kept you working with what kept you from working with Detailers Growth before then?
Uh, well, like I said, I think it's just, who am I going to hand the baton to, right? I know I have to build a team, right? We're a big team on my end, right? With the detailers and Amber, who handles a lot of our stuff for us. But adding somebody else to the team is crucial because when I add people to the team, it isn't to let you go or isn't to cancel your services or isn't to say, Salvador, going into the next 30 days, we can't use your services. Like that isn't the plan, right? The plan
Yeah.
is to start business with somebody like yourself and to continue to do that and to actively have little meetings within the 30-day period to allow for growth, right? Because like I said, I'm a business owner. I've been doing this for about the detailing business for about 5-6 years, business in general over 15 years. So I know that the requirement that it takes, like this isn't going to work in just 30 days. You need to
Oh,
give it some time. And I think any number for anything time, I think is minimum of 90 days, so my commitment was there already. So the fact that my commitment was there, the next step, honestly, was just to implement what you told us that you can do, and you've knocked it out the park. So knowing that going into the next 30 days, uh, we have to make adjustments, right? And I think we've made plenty of adjustments as a business because these leads can get kind of so a lot of them at one time, right? And then there's nothing, and then they come in spurts, and
yeah.
it's kind of like you got one on the fence here, you got to play follow up, and then the next one said to call me at 5 p.m. So it's
Yeah.
so much, right? But that's the exciting part about this is that it allows us to continue to adapt, to kind of change, because it's not going to be easy, right? I tell people that all the time. It's not going to be easy. You have to make adjustments. So I'm excited what's to come. I'm so excited for the next 30 days and thereafter. We're going to make adjustments. We have to. We were just talking about that today with Amber about making adjustments with how we handle these leads because, you can't do them all the same, unfortunately, right? So we're
Yeah.
trying to find that balance. And then once we find that balance and just kind of keep the rhythm going, and they keep paying us, we keep paying you, and everybody's happy. You know what I mean? And then customers are happy. We're getting great reviews. And it's an effect that just keeps going down, and it starts with your campaigns. It starts with us answering them. It starts with the detailers to fulfill the job. And then it starts with our processor to collect payment. Like there's so many people involved with these leads, and the beautiful thing is that everybody who is involved is doing their part. And that's the
100%
beautiful thing
right.
about it is when you see it running, you see that train. It's starting off very very slow, and it starts to gain some traction. Next thing you know, it's going full speed, right? But at the beginning, we had to make some adjustments, and I think we're doing that. We'll continue to do that, and the future's bright. I think for not only for ourselves as a business, but for what you do as well.
Awesome, man. That's great to hear. And I know, like, so from somebody outside looking in, just looking at your case study or, what we've done together,
Correct.
it can seem like an uphill battle to one, even get the leads, let alone close
Correct.
them. But you and I have done both of those where now it's like, okay, now we have to look at the operational side. And that's where things get really fun because on the operational side, that's where you can really like fine tune things even more.
Correct.
And the operational side is very, very important because that's what will get you that good review. That's what will keep, quality control the same across,
Correct.
all of your employees, making sure that everybody's happy. But yeah, it's exciting because there's always and I don't mean this in a bad way, but there's always a bottleneck in the business that you can,
Correct. Yeah.
improve.
No, and that's it's and you have to be willing to understand that knowing that there is a bottleneck within the business is okay though. You know,
Yes, yes,
it's okay. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the road and what do we do now? No, it's a constant need for an adjustment. It's a constant need for you to, it's crazy because what we're talking about here is we how we talk to the customers, how we talk to our clients, how we do this, and sometimes we need to reflect and take a second and like, man, what happens if I would have done this, or I know that I was supposed to do this, but I kind of, I left money on the table type of thing, right? So
yes.
it's a constant needing to take a breath, take a pause, know that everything's going to be all fine. On to the next one, on to the next day, and just kind of keep the ball moving.
Awesome, man. And I know like what we're describing here is building a business. And I know a lot of people think of building a business, they think of it really one-dimensional, like, okay, I get customers and I service them, but it's a lot more
Correct? Yeah.
steps in between those.
Correct. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man, it's super exciting. Once we finally, get through the current bottleneck, we're gonna be it's gonna explode even more because,
Yeah.
like I said, we're only running ceramic coating ads,
Correct.
which are higher tickets. Um, the sales cycle is typically a little bit longer with ceramic coating, so you're not
100%
going to get a
agree.
lot of yeses right off the bats. You do
Correct.
have to do those follow-ups.
Yes.
Um, but once we begin running, either interior detail ads or
Yeah.
smaller exterior coating jobs,
Yeah.
that's where things get really fun because
And
we,
that's why I have to remember, I forget, right? That
yes,
we don't do though. We're not even doing that now, and we're having success. And I think we spoke a couple of weeks ago. That's the kind of route I do want to go, right? Because that's an avenue for the business where I think can capitalize, right? Yes, capitalize on ceramic coatings, the 1,800, 1,500. Those are great, man. Those are lovely jobs. You know what I'm saying? But what keeps the bills going, what keeps payroll going, what keeps people employed and hiring and no firing, right? Is the $300 tickets, is the 250 tickets, it's the 450 tickets, right? Those are the customers that
100%.
are the happiest, right? So, and I think that's important, right? Big tickets are great, but with our business and our model of business, uh, like I said, those smaller tickets are also fun, right? Quick 1 hours, quick 2 hour jobs, still
Yep.
making 450, still making 550, averaging $150 an hour. Then expenses, and supplies is very minimal. Like, we're in the detailing business. It's an exciting business. It's a growing business. The cost of ROI is huge with detailing. I don't know. I mean, I'm involved with a lot of businesses, man, and I have to tell you, like, maybe pest. No, I don't even think pest control has a huge ROI like auto detailing.
It's true. It's true. And
Uh,
a quick side note, you're 100% mobile, right?
Correct, 100% mobile. Like, and that's the exciting part about just being mobile is the fact that the shop is in the works. The shop is going to happen, right? And we're a legitimate mobile detail company that when we open up a shop, the mobile detailing isn't going to stop. That's
Yeah,
just going to continue to go.
that's
And
super
that's
exciting.
where it gives me a lot of excitement when I talk about this is because most, nothing wrong with shops or anything like that, but when you get a shop, they tend to just focus in on the shop. That's why I've been very, very hesitant to open the shop is because I really, really wanted to build some type of system within the mobile side so that when we did the shop, the mobile sides didn't, we're not taking away, we're just adding still. We're still adding to the mobile side and we're starting to build the shop side. That's the beautiful thing about this. We haven't even gone to the shop. Leads are going to get easier to close when we get a shop. I
Yes,
know that.
yes,
Uh, uh, so that's what keeps us going. That's what wanting to keep running more ads and talking to more clients is because when we do get the shop, the percentage of closing is going to get much higher.
yes,
And I'm okay with the percentage where it's at because that comes with the territory of only texting customers and not being able to call them sometimes. Like I'm okay with that. But when the shop opens up, it's going to be even more exciting because of the amount
yes.
of flow that's going to come into there itself.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
what you're describing here is a perfect detailing business because what I've noticed across the board with most of my top clients is that exactly what we're describing. They're both mobile and they have a shop. because that stabilizes thing, come winter time. They're
Correct.
offering not just coatings, but detailing, PPF, window tint. So
Correct.
think of each one of those as like a fishing line out in the
Yeah.
pond.
You're trying
Yeah.
to, you're offering there's multiple baits out there, and I'm hoping tomorrow is Wednesday, I catch a interior job, and then, you catch a ceramic coating job with this bait, and then the PPF here, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
and they have multiple avenues, and that's the beautiful part is that is you help with that. You help implement the process of that business with the ads and stuff that can be a headache at times, but at the same time, with the system that you have in place and the automation behind it all, it's priceless, right? You can't put a price on automation that creates revenue. You just can't,
Yeah.
because if it makes sense and the ROI is $800, right? I mean, 800%, 500%, you can't put a price on that. You just can't. It's all you have to do is be willing to know that it's an area of business that needs to be taken care of because you got to keep an eye on it. So, right, we're running ads with Salvador. We can't just let it go, right? Just something we have to keep coming back to. But the automation that you implement with your business and detailer's growth is for me is priceless because I know the importance of automation and how much it can remove stuff from our shoulders and having to do certain things. Your
Yeah.
system is automated, and that's the beautiful part.
Yeah. And you have an amazing assistant, Amber, which does most of so now the automations that we have set up, as soon as they submit their information to us,
Yeah.
they get an automated reply so that
Correct.
you or Amber can,
Yeah, that first text or that first response is huge. Like,
yes,
and I like how you have it, you have it within, I think, 7 minutes. I think that's the number on your end, which which is smart, and it allows them to respond to our question, right, that we ask them. And then we take it from there. That's the
yeah,
beautiful part and that's
yes,
the thing, you have it automated to where the first message is important, and then we take over after that. You know what I mean? And then your sell script, another thing, to I don't find myself talking to customers with the script. I find myself utilizing it with just different. I grab from here, grab from there. I grab from what's the copy and paste of the 3 steps that we offer. Like I just copy and paste that over, change the percentage, and it's automated.
yes,
How much easier can it get for you? Yes, does it require your time, which requires energy? Absolutely.
yeah.
But that's just part of the process. You want to run ads, it's going to require some effort. It's just not going to be,
It's a
oh, let me run
partnership,
ads. It's going to work on it. No, it just unfortunately doesn't work like that. So
100%.
I knew that it was going to require work as a whole, from all parts, and I think everyone's effort is on point right now. So moving forward, I think the only thing we can expect is more leads, more money, and more friendships with clients, and you meet different clients with this opportunity too. It creates an understanding of getting to know the customer, building the rapport with the customer. Just an exciting thing to be a part of right now.
That's awesome,
Um,
man. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
yes,
But
yes.
what would you say to somebody who, they've seen interviews like this, they're on the fence or they've contacted me, but they're just not ready to pull the trigger. What would you say to somebody like that?
I think if you believe in your product, I think the biggest thing is that if you believe in your product, you have a vision that is very that can be implemented, right? Because we don't want such a big vision where we're not at the if we're at the beginning stages. The vision is great, but it's got to be an understandable vision, right? If you understand the vision of your business, know that it's going to require a little bit of work on your end. Once again, man, I don't, the best way to put it is it's an 8, it's a minimal, I think, honestly, it's a minimal of a 3 to 400%. Like it is.
Yeah.
If you think it's too much, stop your ads. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
if you get 10 leads and you just think you're overwhelmed, like turn your ads off. Handle those leads, even if you told yourself, just want to close one of these 10 leads at $1,000, and then on to the next one. So if you're on the fence, like you're gonna win. You're gonna win. And if you're not winning, isn't because your product isn't working, Salvador. It's because we're probably doing something wrong internally that isn't allowing us to win. And it's okay to ask for help. You know, that's the biggest thing, right? A lot of us want to run ads and do this stuff and think, oh, because it didn't work in 2 days or 2 weeks or 1 week, this product isn't working.
100%.
It doesn't work like that. It's going to take time. It's going to take some adjustments. But once again, if your vision is there, you understand that a business takes time. You're not going to win right away. You may hit some home runs like we have, but I think the difference between me and maybe someone who's just starting out is is ask questions. Ask questions, and just know that you just believe in your product. If you believe in the product, it's gonna work out. You're gonna win. You're gonna win for sure.
That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. Thank you. Do you have anything else that you would want to add when it comes to either working with details growth, getting started, or just working through any of the bottlenecks that you might be facing?
I mean, I think. Honestly, it's not even. I don't think so, man. I honestly don't think so. I think if there's anything lacking, is the lack of more effort from my end. Honestly, because if I sit down and I actually just take a understand and be like, okay, we received this many leads, we closed this many leads. I probably still need to follow up. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a negative here. There's not a negative on your end. That's for sure. If anything, it's more a is everything's just it's a good process, man. What you have and the automation that you have behind it is what allows this to be a success, not just for myself, but for anybody else who's on the fence. Like, take the step. You don't have to have a big advertising budget. Like, you just don't. You don't have to have a big budget. Uh, you just need to go in there and just handle these leads accordingly. Take your time. Don't rush it. Handle one customer at a time. You know, but nothing, man. I think the overall product and everything's great. Everything.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time. You've been an amazing client, and I can't wait to see where your business is at, even 6 months down the road, let alone a
Absolutely,
year.
yeah. I
It's
agree.
super exciting, man.
I agree. I agree.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you, and I'll see you.
Awesome. Thank you.
All righty, see you, man.